My name is Jennifer McLeod, and I am a surface scientist. I study the behavior of atoms and molecules on surfaces. Probably my favorite part of what I do is seeing things that nobody has ever seen and possibly no one will ever see again. And I can do that on a daily basis. I studied physics in high school mostly to keep my options open. I was studying as much as I could across a broad range of subjects. And when I got to university, I thought I would be a microbiologist until I realized that it made me want to wash my hands compulsively. And at that point, I knew I needed to choose something else, and I had continued to study physics in university, and it was a natural fit for me. It was fascinating, and as a second option after microbiology, it made a lot of sense for me. I think I had a nice opportunity in my undergraduate degree to taste test a few different ways that I could be a physicist, because I did summer work in a laboratory where I got to do air sampling in the Rocky Mountains, and that was a pretty great experience. One of the things I like best about my work is that I'm actually able to work across a number of projects at once. And maybe the one that it makes most sense to talk about is the one that's going on in this machine, which is where we are studying the behavior of individual molecules that we put onto an atomically clean surface. And the basic idea is that we can hook them together like Legos and start to build materials that have never existed in nature. And then you can see how complicated the machine is. We can measure all sorts of different properties of these materials we make. The overarching goal is that we can make really useful things this way, at least theoretically. And we study these brand new, very tiny materials with the aim of finding materials that will be our next generation of electronics that will help us to do things in a more environmentally friendly, lower power way that will solve problems that we don't even know exist yet. I think my advice would probably be to try a range of things that are interesting to you, even if they're not the subjects in which you might get the best marks, because that's the best way to determine what you're interested in, to find things that are going to inspire you, is to take a risk and follow your interests, follow your passion.